Welcome to this interaction series for our Breakthrough curriculum. My name's Alison Heaton and I'm your Primary Science Development Officer, and I'm also part of the Inspire Learning team. I'm delighted to be hosting the STEM session for you today. In this session, I'm going to focus on the equity and equality in STEM element of the STEM Nation Award programme. The aim for this session is to gain greater understanding of the equity and equality in STEM element of the STEM Nation Award. I'll be exploring what equity and equality in STEM might look like in your setting, discuss what evidence you might include in your application, signpost resources and support, and give some tips on completing your application. As with all these interaction sessions, there will be some core input interspersed with reflection questions where you can stop the video and take some time with your colleagues to discuss and reflect. There will also be a follow-up activity for you to complete. In the STEM curriculum self-evaluation tool, 4 areas are identified for success in this element. They are that your curriculum purposefully addresses stereotypes, unconscious bias and equities. Your STEM offer is fully inclusive and ensures that every learner and their families have full and equal access and opportunities. Professional learning is provided to support understanding of equity and equality in STEM, and that the resources are allocated to remove barriers to a high quality STEM curriculum. The STEM Nation Award breaks these down further and identifies these aspects as important. They are taking steps to improve equity and equality through STEM. Gender stereotypes are challenged and practitioners' own unconscious bias is addressed. All learners are given the opportunity for personal achievement in STEM. Diversity in the STEM workforce is celebrated with learners, parents and families. Preconceptions about career and learner pathways are challenged, and that STEM has a positive impact on attainment across the curriculum. So what does this look like in practice in your setting? Staff are engaging in professional learning in improving gender balance and unconscious bias. Conscious decisions are made about the diversity represented in school events and groups. You expose learners to a wide range of STEM careers, inviting in partners such as STEM ambassadors who can discuss their jobs, trying to arrange non-stereotypical roles such as male nurses or a female plumber. And all learners are given opportunities for professional achievement in STEM, including young STEM leaders, STEM groups and events. Using STEM to enable all learners to access other parts of the curriculum, and possibly obtaining funding for resources so that learners and their families can be involved with all activities and learning. STEM resources and books to promote equity in STEM are available to learners and practitioners. The use of online career resources that promote equity and equality, such as Scientists Like Me, which introduces learners to a diverse range of scientists and people who work in STEM-related jobs. Now that we've looked at what is expected for the equity and equality in STEM element of the award, it's time to reflect on what your setting is already doing in regards with equity and equality in STEM, and what do you think you could start doing in your setting? This could just be a small change. Pause this video while you discuss. The next step is to complete your action plan. I suggest that you complete one for each element as you go through the process. These action plans need to be submitted at the end of the whole process when you are validated for the whole award. And it just makes things easier if you complete them as you go. As part of the action plan, you identify the staff involved and the key stakeholders. You look at successful outcomes and asks you to consider the challenges you might face and how you might overcome them. There's also a breakdown in tasks looking at who is responsible, accountable, consulted and informed. As you go through the process and start collecting evidence, then it should be gathered on the evidence template provided by the STEM Nation Award. You are asked to submit up to 5 slides for each element, and guidance is given on the first few slides. The type of evidence you might include is copies of improvement plans showing whole school setting approach, plans to show how learning about equity and equality has been embedded in the curriculum, evidence of interventions to tackle preconceptions about STEM career and learning pathways, data highlighting changes in engagement and attitudes, and evidence of practitioners engaging with professional learning and research. Just take some time to reflect on what evidence you already have. For example, planning documents, resources that you use already, social media posts, certificates from CLPL, work that you've previously undertaken prior to applying for the award can be used as evidence. Pause this video while you discuss. As you go through the process of collecting evidence for other elements of the award, you'll begin to see that some elements are interlinked. You may be able to use the same evidence for more than one element. For example, you might have involved partners in a family STEM learning event, and this can be used as evidence for both your family learning element and the employability and STEM partnership element of the award. When you've completed the element, you submit it and it goes to a validator who uses the validator guidance document to assess your application. Your application doesn't have to include everything, but it needs to have a good coverage of the range of aspects the validator is looking for. It is a good idea to use the validator guidance to help you when collecting the evidence. There is a lot of support for your setting at achieving the Leadership in STEM element. Remember that it doesn't have to happen all at once, and you have 3 years to complete all the elements. The STEM Nation Award site is a good place to start, especially for the 2 guidance documents. If you'd like to find out more about a STEM ambassador, then they also have a website. There is a wealth of information and resources on the SBC STEM Padlet, including my newsletters, and all the relevant QR codes are on the screen. And as your PSDO, I'm also available to all settings in the borders to help and support you with anything to do with STEM. You just need to contact me. Further reading and resources can be found on the support page of the STEM Nation Award website, and the QR code is shown on the screen. To follow up this session, I recommend that you read the STEM Nation Award application guidance and the guidance for validators. Complete your action plan and identify your next steps. It might be a good time to create a small core team who will have responsibility to coordinate STEM in your school. Then download the evidence template and agree how it's going to be populated and managed. It might be a good idea to have it centrally available and practitioners just add to it as things occur. So to recap on the purpose of this Interaction Professional Learning video, it was to gain a greater understanding of the equity and equality in STEM element of the STEM Nation Award. I've done this by exploring what equity and equality in STEM might look like in your setting. I've discussed what evidence you might include in your application. I've signposted you to resources and support, and have given you some guidance on completing your application. This video interaction session is part of a new approach we are introducing in an attempt to support all schools and all practitioners across SBC to engage with the same messages and activities, but at an individually convenient time. By providing video content with in-person facilitators in each school, whilst not the same as a full live session, we can achieve widespread learning. Your feedback on how to maximise this approach is invaluable. If you have any questions about today's session, please contact the Professional Learning team on the email address shown below. All that's left to say is good luck with this element and thank you for your time today. Here's to making a difference to the lives and learning of our children and young people. Thank you.